talk no jutsu. It's a meme, a joke, but ultimately it represents a very real truth underlying every major confrontation in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Most of the villains that fight Naruto come to a conclusion eventually that they have been accepting some lie, living some hypocrisy. And being shown this hypocrisy is what convinces these villains to change their ways. If Zabuza really thought that ninjas were just tools, why did he weep for the death of Haku? If Obito had really completely abandoned the real world, why was he trying so hard to convince Naruto that things were pointless? Even Madara, as he lay dying, admitted to Hashirama that he may have been wrong in his plan to bring peace to the world. There are, of course, notable exceptions to the rule in characters like Kakazu or Kaguya, but for the most part, this is how antagonists are dealt with in this series. They are shown their hypocrisy, and then they change their minds. That said, there are quite a few people who believe that this rule doesn't apply to the final antagonist of the series, Sasuke Uchiha. In fact, there is a lot of hate out there for Sasuke because of all the problems he causes in the story, how he refuses to listen to reason, and how he seems to do so much of a drastic heel turn right at the very end. I'm gonna kill you, kill all the Kage, kill all the tailed beasts, and then I'm gonna rule over the entire world as an evil tyrant! Well, on second thought, you've been trying really hard to help me lately, so okay, I'll chill out. It seems a bit contrived. He was dead set on vengeance for years, only to change his mind because he felt kinda lonely? He was touched by Naruto's effort? No, these aren't right, but I can understand why someone would think these, as his train of thought isn't exactly verbalized in the series. So, what is Sasuke's hypocrisy? How did he realize it? In reality, this decision to change was one interlaced both in Naruto's unending resolve to understand and help Sasuke, but also in Sasuke's own understanding of his power as a shinobi. This is the philosophy and transformations of Sasuke Uchiha. At the start of the series, Sasuke is conflicted, and reasonably so. On the one hand, he's witnessed the extermination of his entire clan at the hands of his brother. He's sad, he's angry, he wants vengeance. But on the other hand, he's a kid. He has friends, a teacher, an entire class of peers that cares about him at least somewhat. And the conflict inside of him is represented perfectly by Orochimaru's curse mark. His pain, his desire to be isolated, it was inflicted upon him against his will and is growing like a parasite beneath the surface. It makes him angry, causes him to lose control, but it also makes him stronger. And the allure of strength is very tempting for someone so obsessed with vengeance. Besides, his desire to lean into the curse mark is twofold. Yes, power is nice, but chasing after a path of isolation is also a way of protecting himself. If Sasuke doesn't form bonds with those around him, he can't get hurt again. Not in the same way he was hurt by Itachi. Ultimately, after seeing the fruitless nature of his efforts to grow stronger in the face of Itachi, and after being surpassed by even the notorious screw-up Naruto, Sasuke decides to dedicate himself to this path of isolation. He quite literally kills his old self, as his body is suspended in a near-death state by the Sound 4, as he slowly unlocks his second form curse mark transformation. Here, Sasuke is committed to his new way of isolation, choosing to murder Naruto, his best friend, in order to obtain the Mangekyo Sharingan, in order to gain power. But in their clash, Sasuke realizes that gaining power the same way his brother did is not the way he wants to live. To be like Itachi is to be a fundamentally terrible person in his eyes, so he chooses to become more powerful in his own way. Sasuke doesn't see himself as evil. He never has and he never will. He just wants to make his brother pay for his crimes. And so, he spares Naruto's life. In Shippuden, we see Sasuke get far stronger after training under Orochimaru. He gets so powerful, he is able to defeat his master and co-opt his abilities, temporarily gaining his snake-like attributes. Sasuke remains on this warpath until he finally faces his brother, and here we get to see the culmination of his training. Yes, it is a fantastic fight, but the aftermath is what matters most. Itachi's death traumatizes Sasuke, and he finally awakens the Mangekyo. Soon after, Tobi explains to him the true history of Itachi and the Uchiha clan extermination plan, and it is at this point that Sasuke develops a new goal. No longer does he harbor hatred for his brother, but instead the people who forced his brother into such a terrible situation. Konoha, Danzo. Slowly gaining control of his new abilities, Amaterasu and the Susanoo, Sasuke takes his fight to the corrupt Leaf Village leader who was truly responsible for the slaughter of his people. And in this battle, Sasuke's ideology of isolation is only strengthened. It was isolation that allowed him to surpass Orochimaru and leave Naruto in the dust. It was isolation that allowed him to match Itachi. And now, it's isolation that allows him to defeat Danzo. Throwing away his chance at a life with loved ones, Sasuke slices right through Karin in order to get his revenge against Danzo. His ideology of isolation helps him gain the upper hand once again. And now, having finally gotten justice for his people, Sasuke sets out to understand one last thing. Why would anyone choose to do such a thing? Is a village really worth such bloodshed? Adopting the eyes of Itachi and receiving the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke sets out to confront the fallen Hokage. His conversation with them, his true, honest attempt to emphasize and understand their plight, is what leads way to Sasuke's final philosophical evolution. The existence of a village, of a community, is necessary for peace. And that peace is maintained through order. Order exists through the usage of power, and isolation has granted Sasuke all the power he has needed up until now. So through isolating himself from the rest of the world, amassing immense power, Sasuke would rule through fear, establishing order, ensuring peace. Ensuring that there would never be another Uchiha massacre or anything similar ever again. And to be frank, I understand his thinking. Of course, it can be easy to hate him, to get annoyed with his character for causing all of the trouble after finally defeating the monumental Ten Tails Jinchuriki and the originator of chakra herself. Why continue this battle anymore? But from Sasuke's perspective, simply returning the world to the status quo is the worst possible decision. All that means is that these wars, this violence, is just gonna happen again. There needs to be a new way of doing things. And even the Sage of the Six Paths agrees. Hagoromo tells Sasuke that he entrusted his power to Ashura many years ago, but perhaps he was wrong. Perhaps Indra was the one with the right idea. He's not really sure. When the greatest and wisest ninja in all of history expresses his distrust of the current system directly to you, of course revolution suddenly becomes far more appealing. And this is where Sasuke finds himself at the end of Shippuden, as he faces down Naruto. From his perspective, the world is a chaotic place, and he has the power to make it better. This is bigger than himself, bigger than his brother, his clan, or even his village. Sasuke feels a duty to protect this world that he just worked so hard to save, and he's ready to try a new approach. So why then does he change his mind? As he clashes with Naruto and the two tear each other apart, what causes Sasuke to finally see it, to finally understand? He doesn't give up the fight just because he's lonely, although that is a small part of it. Sasuke realizes that no man is an island. What Naruto specifically says after their fight is that seeing Sasuke's struggle causes him pain as well. Sasuke cannot just isolate himself from the rest of the world because human attachments work in both directions. And the emotional gut punch is enough to finally get Sasuke thinking. The decision he made as a kid to leave with the Sound Four and break off all of his bonds was not the right decision. It can't be, because right now, right in front of him, is someone who's even stronger than he is. Naruto, who proudly wears on his sleeve the help he's received from others, is stronger than Sasuke. And this is what makes it click inside Sasuke's head. Even if he were stronger than Naruto in this moment, it wouldn't matter. In his pursuit of power through solitude, at every single turn, Sasuke unwittingly found himself relying on the power of others. His ideology of isolation is a farce. Sasuke only ever chose to pursue strength because he cared for his family and was so hurt that they were gone. In this pursuit of strength, he learned to control his curse mark, hone his Sharingan, and even use the Chidori, all from his sensei Kakashi. He sharpened his skills with the help of Orochimaru, and achieved his goals through the help of Team Taka. Even the eyeballs inside his head aren't his own. Those are his brother's eyes he's using. The Rinnegan isn't his either. That's Indra's chakra from Hagoromo. Even the massive power he uses to fill out the Susanoo to clash with Naruto's three-headed avatar is just the energy of the tailed beasts. Every step along Sasuke's journey, every single new ability and transformation is due to the help of someone else. The curse mark and the snake form are both thanks to Orochimaru. His Susanoo, at every stage, is thanks to the eyes of Itachi. Even his Mangekyo, the source of that Susanoo, the Amaterasu, all of those abilities. Sasuke only unlocked it because his brother died for him. Sasuke is so focused on vengeance, and then on understanding the ninja world, he never even considered that the decision he made as a child to always be alone might not be best. To finally change his mind, he would need to look back on his past and recontextualize every development of his life as a shinobi. To do that, well, he just needed a little forced perspective from a dear friend.